What's up, YouTube? Back at it with another video journal. Just wanted to recap my journey here in Cape Town because sadly my trip is coming to an end. Honestly, I had my expectations going into the trip, but even though those expectations weren't one to one, the trip ended up being better than I could even imagine. And I think that's with a lot of things with life. You want things to go a certain way, but the universe, God, whatever you believe in, will have it play out better than you can ever imagine. And with this trip, I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, and I tried new things, met new people, and was able to accomplish what I set out to accomplish. And I'm forever grateful for being here in Cape Town and being in the position to just be able to basically pack up while I was in Canada and just come here to get a fresh start, think new thoughts, do different things, meet new people. And it honestly benefited me a lot. And it's sad that it's coming to an end. But the thing is, I shouldn't dwell on that this trip is ending, because I could easily extend this trip even though it's wintertime here. But I won't. I'm learning to just let go, because letting go will allow new things to come into place. And I genuinely fell in love with Cape Town, and it's difficult to let go knowing that I could easily extend my trip, or I could easily get an apartment here for longer and stay here long term. But I came here for a sharp turn. And what do I mean by a sharp turn? A sharp turn for me was I was stuck in the same pattern of living in Canada. So I was waking up at the same time, doing the same things, and thinking the same thoughts, which were just leading me down a pretty straightforward path. And it wasn't a bad path. Like from January to March, the business profited $70,000. So I don't think that's a bad path to be on. But I was looking for something more, because at the end of the day, it's night. No, just kidding. I was just looking for something more. So I ended up coming here and honestly was inspired, met new people, was experiencing new things, and I also was alone. I came here alone, and it was just me and my thoughts. And I had to dig deep and see what was that thing I was yearning for. And then that ended up with me launching the brand. We haven't launched yet, but that's what I've been working on majority of the time. And just being able to do something completely different. And while I was here in a new environment, just doing different things completely, it proved to myself that I've grown so much as a person. But it also showed me that I have a lot more to go. I'm not perfect. I'm just a man, a regular guy, no better than you. The fact that I'm no better than you is reason why you should believe you can do it too. And I'm super grateful for everything I've experienced here, and it played out better than I could ever imagine. So will I be coming back? 100% yes. I haven't felt this good about a place in a long time. Like, I did the whole Bali nomad lifestyle, Southeast Asia, but even at the end of that, I was excited to go back home to Canada. But here, leaving, I genuinely feel like an empty feeling that I'm leaving here. I think that was a good thing. I think it's a good thing that I'm feeling these feelings, because it means the trip was well worth it. I will be going back to Canada. I know if I could stay here, why wouldn't I just stay here? The samples and where my products are being made for the business are in North America. The samples are being made in the US, and it would be very difficult to have my samples shipped to South Africa, and it would just increase lag time. I've realized that if this is what I'm really going to do, build a brand, then I'm probably going to have to go into a deep monk mode. And traveling around South Africa and neighboring countries, if I wanted to go to Europe for the summer, I could, would probably be a distraction more than a help to launching the brand. And I genuinely feel that I have a lot of time on my hands. And with this time, I feel like I can really set up my future. So even though I've seen some minor success with e-commerce, I'm willing to sacrifice looking rich and looking cooler than I really am. I'm willing to sacrifice that to be in Canada, sit down in my laptop, and really give launching brands my best shot. And I hope that's the right decision. And it's just crazy thinking back on this whole Cape Town saga. If you guys watched my first video when I was leaving Canada and I was in the Centurion Lounge in Atlanta, I was pretty scared. And honestly, for the first week, I was still scared. And I was dealing with that loneliness versus solitude thing I spoke about in the videos I posted previous. But now I've just seen the progression. I've seen the growth, and you never see the growth until you look backwards. You can never feel it or see it while you're experiencing it. And that's such a beautiful thing to look back on. And the fact that I'm actually finally recording and documenting the journey is also great. So if you're on like a path of trying to start a business or a self-improvement journey, a fitness journey, anything like that, you'll never notice. You'll never see the growth until you look backwards and notice that you're not the same person you were. And that was only 2 months ago. Think about this. In just 2 months, if you think about it, I went from not being sure what my next steps were. I was just running multiple e-com stores. I could have been okay profiting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in profit a month, but in just 2 months now I'm here with 3 solid brand ideas that I'm having made in the US, fully custom, and that I'm getting samples of, and that I'm going to launch. And that's massive growth to happen in just 2 months, because in the start of the year, I didn't even know how to do any of this stuff. And that's a big thing that I realized just this year is you don't need to know every step of the way. You can just go and figure it out on the way. Because like, you think I knew how to make custom formulas for supplements at the start of the year, and now I do? Like, what? And just 2 months ago, when I wasn't even sure what I was going to do with ecom, I just figured it out in just 2 months. And it's just that principle I keep talking about of taking action. I was never going to get to building these ecom brands that I'm currently building if I didn't actually try. And coming here to Cape Town was just that catalyst that helped me try something new, because I was in a new environment. I'm not saying you need to just pack up your things and leave your country, if it's the US, if it's Canada, if it's any Western country. But I'm just saying you should be able to recognize the cycle you're stuck in, because I was stuck in that cycle. And coming here was a way for me to exit that cycle, but there's many ways you can do it. And it's not just hopping on a flight and going to a different country. You can do it by just breaking your thought patterns. You usually think the same thoughts at the same time every single day. Now imagine if you insert different thoughts consistently, day in, day out, for over a year. I think those new thoughts would lead to new beliefs. Those new beliefs would lead to new actions. And those new actions would lead to a new life. It's obviously a lot easier if you can change your environment, because you won't have the same triggers to put you back in that thought circle, but you can do this without hopping on a flight. So overall thoughts on Cape Town, if you're thinking of coming here, maybe one of the best cities in the world. It's a debate. Naturally, I think if we're talking about natural beauty, has to be top 2 most beautiful cities in the world. I haven't traveled the world, but I could say, man, like, if you love mountains, beach, and a city vibe with a beach vibe and a small town vibe, like, it got everything here. So highly recommend Cape Town. And I'm going to miss Cape Town. I will be back, but we got to let go to move forward. And we're going to sacrifice Cape Town to grow our brand. So I'll talk to you guys later.